What's up troopers, my name is Neon and today I'm going to be giving you guys the best loadout for each class in Battlefield 2042. So every single class in the game coming from the Assault class, Engineer, Support class and Recon. I'm also going to be talking about what weapon you need to use for each class, the setup and the pistol, the gadget and of course the throwable, and I'm also going to go in depth when it comes to the specialist too. So sit back and relax. So before we get into the video, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do, and of course leave a like. Thank you very much. So the first one is the Assault class. The Assault class is really good when it comes to being aggressive, and this is actually the specialist I actually choose. I choose the specialist Zane. What's so good about Zane is every time he gets a kill, he can actually start healing. He also does have an airburst rifle, but it's not as effective. I don't feel like I use it all the time. Best thing about Zane is really just healing after each kill. So every time you're going into that gunfight, you kill that one guy, maybe done a little bit of damage to you. After that, you start healing a little bit more, so you're constantly healing all of the time. If you do it right, he's going to be a very good class for you. The weapon actually used for being aggressive is the VHX. This is actually the setup I'm using. So I'm using the tactical compensator with the laser sight, and then this is the magazines, the standard issue, subsonic, and then the standard issue. When you use the subsonic, make sure you use the rep suppressor. You're going to be really stealth, and then these are my two sights. When it comes to secondary, I suggest the NVK pistol. Really good when it actually comes to performing distance. Sometimes I actually use this just normally because it's a really good effective weapon. Use the regular sight, go for the factory barrel, use the laser sight for that close quartered, and then these are the magazines. Being assault class, you're obviously going to be so aggressive, so there's going to be some times where you bump into some vehicles, and using the C5 is going to be really good. Taking out a tank is going to help out you and your team push forward. If there's a squad mate down, you need to pick them up, then you use the smoke. That's going to be really good, help you go around flanks or get your teammates up. The next one is the engineer class. What I'm choosing for the specialist is actually Boris. Boris is going to be just good anyway because he's going to be repairing vehicles, but then also what's good about Boris is the fact that his sentry gun will do damage to vehicles as well. So twice the amount of damage when it comes to vehicles. So that's why I'm choosing Boris. You're mainly going to be a repair guy, so you don't really have that much time when it comes to reloading, so I use the Advanced. Class setup for the Advanced is the normal sights, what I go for all the time. Go for the tactical compensator with the laser sight, and then these are my magazines. I use the MVK pistol once again, of course switch it up whatever you like to use, and then I'm using a recoilless because this is going to be very good for all them crazy situations. I'm mainly going to be chilling in a tank, healing that tank, so if there's any tank gunfights I can get out, start repairing, maybe use my recoilless to do some damage to the other tank, put down my sentry, and then that tank's really not going to have that much to do. That tank's going to be basically destroyed. I'm repairing my tank, back in again, and I'm good to go. That's why the Advance is so good, because you don't need to reload because you're going to have a lot of bullets. If there's a time where your tank is really weak and he needs to get out of there, maybe chuck some smoke to help out your teammates. The next one is the support class. What I actually use is Falk. What she's really good is pretty much that she can revive everyone, heal everyone. That's just a perfect specialist to use. You're really going to be aggressive all the time, so I suggest you should be using the PP29. A really good SMG gives you up to 65 rounds and you'll have a lot of fun with it. What I'm using is the tactical compensator, and these are the magazine counts. Of course, use whatever pistol you like. I use the ammo crate. Ammo crate's going to be good because her specialist, you can already start healing with yourself or your teammates. So using the ammo crate's going to be really good. It's going to give you a lot more ammunition and your teammates. Because you're a healer, you can jump into them flags really no problem. And so you need to be using a flashbang. Flashbang your enemies, get in there, take that flag, and you're good to go. And the last one is the Recon. And the specialist I've chosen is Rao. Rao's going to be really good when it comes to hacking vehicles. This is the class where you don't really need to be playing as aggressive. It may be more of medium to long range gunfights. He's going to be a really good player when it comes higher up on the map. So you could be sitting on a crane trying to hack some vehicles, and hacking a vehicle does a really big deal. A lot of people get scared when they get hacked and they fall back straight away. So he's going to be a very good specialist. Because this is a specialist when it comes to longer range, I'm using the BSVM, but of course use any other DMR if you like to. Some people even like using the snipers. So I'm using the BSVM, so these are the magazine counts. I'm using this sight here, the K8, and then using the 5 times. I'm using this suppressor, then the laser sight. Pistol's my NVK, and I'm actually using this. This is your motion sensor. This is going to be really good because what's going to happen is if you're actually right on the top of a crane or something, then no one's going to flank on you because you're going to know where they are. Being higher up with a class like this, maybe use a nade. You could just chuck that, let that throw down below, and maybe you might be getting lucky enough to get a couple of kills. But really, it's up to you. I would just suggest to just go for the smoke. I think the smoke would be really good for you. And yeah, there we go, troopers. That is the best loadouts for each class class for Battlefield 2042. I really hope this video helped you. If it did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, be a part of Pink Rook Army, and I'll see you on the battlefield. What was the tank on side? What? Keep me alive! Right, tank's gone. Oh, let's go!